It's been exactly a month since the release of Davido's fourth studio album titled Timeless, and so far it's been well received by fans, followers, and haters all across the continent, all across the globe, and of course the achievements for Davido's Timeless album in its first month has been crazy. We have nothing less than 40 to 50 achievements that have been done, records set, records broken, making history, and I'll be diving into details ASAP because we have a long way to go. Please subscribe to the channel and turn on the post notification bell. It doesn't cost a penny to do that, and of course drop your thoughts and your opinions in the comment box below. Let's go. Now, Davido's Timeless album peaked at number 1 in 45 countries on Apple Music countries chart, which is wild. Highest charting album by an African artist on US iTunes. This album actually went number 1. No African album have actually done this before. I repeat, no African album artist have done this on the US iTunes. And Davido did this effortlessly. He picked number 1. That is really, really crazy. He charted number 1. Then number 3, we've got the US Billboard 200, number 37, which is his highest charting album to date. 2 weeks spent on the chart. His first album to spend multiple weeks on the chart. Timeless is the album with the second most units sold in a debut week for a Nigerian album ever on the Billboard 200. Well, on its first week, it sold roughly 17,000 units were sold. More than 17,000 units were actually sold in its first week, more than any other Nigerian artist. Also, it peaked number 2 on Billboard US World Album Chart. 4 weeks spent inside the top 6 so far. 86 on US Billboard Top Album Sales Chart. It is his first ever album entry on this chart. Also, number 41 on this week US Billboard Top Current Album Sales Chart. It is Davido's first ever album entry on this chart also. Timeless debuted at 17 tracks from his newly released album Timeless on this week US Billboard Afrobeat Songs Chart. It peaked at number 1 on UK iTunes and Apple Music simultaneously. It peaked at number 1 on UK Apple Music for 15 consecutive days, record for a Nigerian album on the chart. Spent its first month inside the top 10. 16 of 17 songs of the album entered the top 100 of UK Apple Music Top Songs Chart. Also, UK Official Album Chart, number 10. Second highest charting Nigerian album on the chart. It is currently on a run of 4 weeks on the chart. That is, exclusively a month. Over 10,000 units sold in its first month in the UK. We have over 10,000 album units sold in the UK. We have roughly 20,000 units sold in its first week in the US. Unavailable goes number 1, and no competition on UK Afrobeat chart. Is first ever number 1 song on the chart. Unavailable debuted on UK singles chart in its first week. Also, we have the highest charting album by an African artist on US Apple Music, number 2. Spent its first month inside the top 40 on the chart. 10 tracks out of 17 debuted on US Apple Music Top 200 chart. Spotify Global Debut Top Albums. It's, peak number 2. Joint highest ever debut for an African album. Well, number 7, Spotify Top Albums Debut in the USA. On the US Spotify Albums charts, Davido's Timeless album, debuted at number 7. That is crazy. Number 32 on Billboard Canadian Album charts for his first album to be debuted on the chart. Also, Timeless on countries Spotify charts: Nigeria number 1, 14 South Africa, in the UK number 32, global number 54. Second highest debut by an African artist. We've got number 79 on Ireland, we've got 86 Canada, and the likes. Also, before I continue with this Davido's Timeless first month achievement, I would love you guys to subscribe if you haven't. Drop your thoughts and your opinions if you haven't. Let's go. So 5 songs of the album debuted on Apple Music global charts. It also spent its first month inside the top 25 of the European and worldwide Apple Music albums, while peaking at number 6 and number 9 respectively on the charts. Also, his highest peaking album in Canada and Ireland is Davido's Timeless album. First Nigerian album to spend 5 days with a clean sweep with all tracks from an album on Nigerian Apple Music number 1 to number 17 positions with tracks from the album. Timeless album set its first month at the top spot of Nigerian Apple Music top album charts. Timeless album is now eligible for platinum certification in Nigeria. Damn! With 61,600 units sold in its first 3 weeks of release in the century. That is a record. That is a record. Wow, let me read that to you guys once again. Davido's Timeless album is now eligible for platinum certification in Nigeria with 61,600 units sold in its first 3 weeks of release in the country. Wow, that is amazing. That's amazing. Charted in 121 countries on Apple Music charts. Also, all 17 tracks on Timeless album charted in the top 20 songs chart on Apple Music in Benin, Cameroon, Gambia, Ghana, Liberia, Malawi, Nigeria, and Sierra Leone. Timeless breaks the record for the all-time biggest first-day streams for any album on Spotify Nigeria, 4.91 million streams. That is crazy. Before I still continue, I want you guys to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Drop your thoughts if you haven't done that. Turn on the post notification bell to get notified whenever our new content are being released. Let's continue. Biggest opening day for an African album on Spotify, 8.4 million streams. Crazy. Timeless holds the top 16 all-time streaming peaks in Spotify Nigerian history. That is wild. That's crazy. Timeless breaks the all-time record for the biggest debut week by any album on Spotify Nigeria in its first day of release. Also, Timeless had the most first-day streams ever for an African album on Apple Music. In fact, Apple Music actually tweeted this just to confirm. Davido's Timeless album sets record for fastest Afrobeat album to reach 100 million streams on Boomplay and Audiomack in its first month. Exactly. No African album have actually done that before. No Afrobeat album have actually done that before. Davido's Timeless album recorded over 65 million pure streams on Spotify in its first month. Fastest African album to have all tracks surpasses 1 million streams on Spotify in 7 full tracking days in its first week. All tracks on the album surpasses 2 million streams each on Spotify in its first month of release. That is a record-breaking, stuff from Davido's Timeless album in just 31 days, in just its first month of release. Stuff that no African album, no Nigerian album have actually ever done or even dreamt of. If this album could even amass roughly 500 million streams in its first month of release, what do you think this album would do in 3 months, in 6 months, in 1 year of its release? Because this album is going crazy in Nigeria, is eligible for its platinum certification in Nigeria. This album is going crazy in the Arabs, in the UAE. This album is going bonkers, in the United States. This implies the fact that Davido actually puts his all into this album. Of course, I've listened to the album. It's timeless. It's crazy. It's sweet. There are several songs of the album that, of course, you would know that, yes, these songs are sweet. Man, I'm telling you, and that's fact, if you have streamed the album, and of course you believe the album actually deserves, receive the accolade that it actually deserves, let me see your thoughts and your opinions in the comment box below. To all the video fans, let me see you in the comment box below. If you don't fuck with the album, if you don't like the album, let me just know what you feel concerning this album, its achievements so far, the stream so far, the platinum certification eligible in Nigeria so far. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions concerning this in the comment box below. That's that about that. I remain, Nigerian Entertainment Update. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the post notification bell. Till next time on Nigerian Entertainment Update. Peace.